Hello and welcome. This is James Blanchard, Cisneros, at your service. Today I will be reading the June 27th Facebook post, and I will be making a few comments on it, and I trust that it will assist both of us on our journeys. This one again is 2 paragraphs long, so about a 2.5 minute read before my comments. Here we go. Dissolving the feeling of feeling lonely. To begin dissolving the feeling of loneliness, practice aligning every day with the energies of love and gratitude. Here are a few examples. If you walk by a tree, feel yourself from deep within your heart and soul, offering it your love for its beauty and gratitude for its shade. When you are talking to someone else, practice feeling love for the courage it took them to come from a place of perfect love, heaven, into a world of duality to help this world heal, and offer them gratitude for interacting with you, no matter what that interaction looks like to the ego. You may do this within your heart and mind. You can do it silently. When you walk outside, offer the sun your love for providing its life-giving energy to this planet, in gratitude for showing up for us every single day of our life. These and dozens of other opportunities present themselves to us each day to help us connect with our true nature. The important part is not just to think of these things, actions, but to feel them. Feel wave after wave of love and gratitude expanding from your heart and soul into them, into the tree, the person, the sun, our creator. Then feel wave after wave of love and gratitude returning back from them and filling your heart and soul. The more you practice reconnecting with the truth within, your creator, the love that in truth you have forever been, the more natural and real it will be, and the less lonely you will feel. Let us practice every day this connection, and you will sooner or later start to realize and feel that we are indeed connected to everything, everyone, and all, that you are never alone, and that every expression of God forever loves and cherishes you. We are all one, and therefore, in truth, it is impossible to be alone. Now, it is possible to feel lonely, especially when we have invested so much time, energy, and focus into this world of duality, into the ego's programming, that we are indeed separate from each other. But we are not. We are all one. And so whenever you're experiencing this energy, emotion of loneliness, it's always interesting to try and turn the ego's programming 180 degrees upside down and ask yourself, okay, why am I experiencing this loneliness? Or this feeling lonely? And the reason it is because each one of us has created a perfect, sacred, individualized journey. So see, the ego would have you judge yourself for feeling lonely. But in truth, because your journey is sacred, you have come here to experience the energy of loneliness so that you may overcome it. So that you might better understand the energy of oneness. And then when you do, you will offer yourself as an example to those who are still buying into the illusion of loneliness, that they do not need to feel this way, that there indeed is another way. And because of your life experience, because you were or they are, they will listen to you more than they would to somebody else who has never experienced loneliness. And I'm sure we all have in some ways experienced loneliness, but you know what I'm saying. Here I'm speaking to those individuals who are really bathing in the ego's programming of loneliness. And that is fine. There's nothing wrong with feeling lonely. Let us always remember that, because again, our journey is sacred. And so when the ego judges you for feeling lonely, and it tells you that you're lonely because you're not worthy enough or good enough or spiritual enough or kind enough or courageous enough or whatever enough, it's all a lie. Those are all lies. Those all only seem true to you because you have bought into those ideas long enough to think of them as true. But illusions, no matter how much time, energy, and focus we place into them, always remain illusions. And so today let us simply reverse the thinking of the ego's world and practice oneness. Because the more you practice something, the stronger it becomes in your life, and the more natural it feels. So if you keep on reinforcing the idea of loneliness, guess what? You will feel more and more lonely each and every day. But if you instead choose to practice the idea of oneness, to align with the truth within you, and to practice this each and every day, and some of us might need to practice it more than others because we have invested so much time in loneliness, that we have to deprogram ourselves little by little. And so the physical world is here as a gift to us. And so let us go through the examples that I wrote in the post. I have to go to paragraph 1. Okay, the tree. See, everything in the physical world is a gift to us. And so even trees, everything is symbolic. There's symbolism all over the place. But when you walk by a tree, you can either walk by it and not even notice it, and then in the back of your mind feel somewhat lonely because you feel like there's nothing there with you on your walk. But you can equally practice aligning with the truth in you, with the understanding that we're all one. And so when you walk by that tree or see the tree, you start to send your love and your gratitude. And it's important to feel this love flowing out of you as like waves, like energy waves, into the tree. And the more you practice it, the more you will start to feel your aura. Some people call it aura, your energy field, your soulness expanding. And then offering that love to the tree and that gratitude to the tree. And because deep down inside we know that the tree is a living being, so to speak. It's a living, everything in this world is living. It's an energy of love, manifested in different physical forms. So we allow that tree to love us. And if we start to allow the tree to love us and send us gratitude, we start to feel a connection with this tree. And so you see, you can walk by a park and feel totally alone, or you can walk by a park and feel totally at one with the park, or with the trees, or with the grass. It's all simply a choice we make in every single moment to support the idea of loneliness, of separation, which is the ego's idea, or to support the idea of oneness, of our true nature, one with God, with everything and all. And it's simply a practice to expand what is within you out, and then receive all the love that is around you back in. And when you do this exchange, so to speak, you are reminded of this oneness and how you and the tree are one. Equally so when we speak to another human being. Many times we simply judge what they're saying and we're totally separate from the actual conversation. And symbolically, sometimes people talk to each other with sunglasses on. And maybe you have felt how disconnected that feels. And that's simple. Those sunglasses in that moment can be a symbol of separation. It could be also a symbol that there's too much sun, but you know what I'm saying. And so what I like to do, yes, I do wear sunglasses, but anytime I speak to another human being, I take my sunglasses off. Because even though I know that the sunglass is a symbol and therefore it's not really real, the connection feels a lot more real when these illusions are withdrawn from us. And so the ego would have you separate yourself from your brother and sister by judging them, and so you're not even in the conversation, by thinking, oh, what am I going to say to that being, when you actually are supposed to be listening to them. So that separates you from the conversation, from sunglasses, from judging them as boring. All those things are ego games that the ego plays to separate us from each other. And so we reverse that thinking of the world. And we make it a conscious choice to be in the present moment and to offer our love to our brothers and sisters. And so even before any interaction, you say to yourself, love, gratitude, and oneness is my goal in this situation. And then when you're speaking to them, you offer this love to them, energetically speaking. You extend your soulness out into them and your love to them. You send them love to their eyes, into their souls, as you're speaking to them. And then when they're speaking to you, you start to receive and visualize and feel this love coming back from them to you. Because you remember that every single person that you meet in your day, in your life, you both have made a spiritual commitment to meet, to help each other, lift each other to a higher level of consciousness. And so when you remember that, and when you make the goal love, oneness, peace, and you give that to them energetically, and you feel them giving that to them to you, then you start to feel more and more of this oneness. And the more you practice this, the more you will realize that this is simply the way things are, the way it truly should be. Feeling this oneness, feeling this gratitude for your brother or sister who came into your life this day to help you lift your consciousness, and you help them lift their consciousness. And so it's simply a practice. Practice oneness instead of separation, instead of the idea of loneliness, instead of the idea that you're separate from your brother and sister. You're all one. We're all one. And there's no such thing as coincidence or chance. You haven't met this individual today by chance or coincidences. Those again are just illusions of the ego. And third, yes, the sun. Again, it's interesting that we receive a lot of vitamin D from the sun, but a great part of the vitamin D that we receive from the sun is through our eyes, believe it or not. And so, but we've been taught to wear these shades. And again, the shades are fine, but it's symbolic of the world of separation. How we separate ourselves from nature, from the sun, from the wind, from the clouds. And it's also interesting when you start to do this exercise of expanding your love and gratitude and understanding of oneness towards the sun, and feeling the sun offering the same thing back to you. What you're going to start to feel is, like now if you walk on a park and it's sunny, you'll feel the heat on your skin. But when you start to do this exercise, you feel that heat kind of going into your body, like into your bones, through the skin, into your bones. And so you start to see and feel how that sun is offering you nutrition, love, in essence. Vitamin D is giving you nutrition. And so offer gratitude to the sun for that, for being available to us each and every day if we so choose to go outside and it's sunny out there. But the sun is always there, even though the clouds might stop by. Again, symbolism. The clouds might come and go, but the sun always remains. And so let us offer gratitude and expand our gratitude towards the sun, and understand this oneness that the sun is helping us heal, and we're offering it gratitude for that. So there's a oneness there. And feel it. The key is always to feel it. To feel your expansion. To feel the energies of love and gratitude and compassion coming back at you. And to offer that. To offer what you want to your brothers and sisters. And feel it expanding. Like, even if you have to close your eyes and just Feel the expansion, the expansion, the expansion of your energy field, of your love, of your compassion, of your forgiveness, of your oneness. And then allow that oneness to come back into you to show you what it feels about you, the love that it has for you. And so let us simply do that today. Let us simply realize that when we're feeling loneliness, it's not about judging ourselves as not good enough for feeling that. It's about remembering that our journey is sacred. And so if we are to play with the energy of loneliness, then the reason for that is that we are there to understand it better and better, to understand it as the illusion that it truly is, to go through it so that we may come out of it and then help our brothers and sisters who still remain there have an example of oneness that had been lonely. And they can see that you had been where they are. And so if you made it through, they can also make it through. Because they are worthy of oneness. A lot of times the idea of loneliness is the ego trying to convince you that you're not worthy of oneness, that you're not worthy of being connected to God because of X or Y reason, because you did X or Y in your life. But again, that's the ego speaking. In truth, your life is perfect. It's sacred. It's co-created with God, Himself, herself. And so do not judge yourself and then hide because you do not want to be judged by other people. Simply practice your true nature, your oneness. Even if it's just having the courage to speak to another being for 10 seconds more each day. And that's a step towards oneness. And you can practice again on trees, on the sun, if it's tough for you to practice on human beings. And they're there for you. The sun is there for you. The trees are there for you. Park benches are there for you. Everything is here for you to remind you of your oneness. And so offer gratitude to whatever it is you choose to experiment with, to remember this oneness. And so let us do that today. Let us no longer judge ourselves because we believe in the ego's game. We're releasing ourselves from the ego by practicing this exercise and reminding ourselves that we are all indeed one. Thank you very much for your time. I love you very much. If you would be so kind as to like or comment, it would help with the listing process, and I might help somebody find this video someday. If you'd like to leave me a comment or a question, I will be delighted to try and offer a response. And if you can please subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would love to have you in that community. Again, thank you for your time. I love you very much, and God willing, we'll see each other tomorrow. Peace.